The following podcast may contain adult language and an abundance of salt. So get ready, nerds, because we're talking Stargate Atlantis, the first 2 episodes, Rising. Welcome, everybody, and thank you for joining us on the best comedy podcast on the internet, available everywhere where you find podcasts like Apple, iTunes, and Spotify. I am your host, The Salty Nerd, and today we are talking about Stargate Atlantis, our favorite show ever. I am joined, as always, by my fantastic panel of nerds. Matt Vader's here. What's up, dude?
Stargate, bro.
Stargate Atlantis, bro.
Stargate Atlantis. Yes.
Get it right.
Get it right, man.
We know people on this show.
We kind of do.
It's weird.
It is really weird.
Like, I was watching it last night and I'm going, hey, I know that guy. I know that guy too. Weird. It's goofy.
To be fair, if either of them walked past us, they would not be like, oh, hey, you guys.
Yeah.
You know what? One of them would. One of them would.
Have you seen Flanigan's Instagram? It's freaking crazy. He's out there like mountain biking and stuff. Yeah. He's on the edge of the world, man.
He's a go-getter.
He's got his dog.
Yeah.
His bulldog.
Awesome dog.
His bulldog is what gives him the clicks.
I got you. Yeah. Jude is also here. Welcome to the show.
His dog's name is Newman.
Yes.
Newman.
Yeah. What's up? How you doing, Jude?
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. Ready to go.
Happy to be drinking my coffee right now.
I know.
I'm tired today.
I bought like 6 energy drinks today. Just sitting out. I got a can of purple.
I'm looking forward to your heart attack later at the end of the day.
I'm all good. This is not sponsored by this purple drink. I'm also joined by Matt Kadish, producer of the show. Welcome, sir.
So we are going to be releasing an exclusive interview with Colonel Shepard himself, or Major Shepard, I guess at this point, Joe Flanigan, which we're really excited about. We interviewed him about his time on sea, as well as Stargate Atlantis, and like his working with Jean-Claude Van Damme, and all that good stuff.
And his relationship with David Hewlett and Jason
Momoa. I didn't know he lived with Jason Momoa. That blew my mind.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Just wait for the interview.
Yeah. So I'm working on getting that out this month to coincide with our coverage of Stargate. And we're also in talks with both David Hewlett and Flanigan to get them on the show together to reminisce about their time on the show. And that will probably be a members exclusive type thing. So we're really excited about that as well.
If you want to get access to all that stuff, head over to saltynerdclub.com. That is where you can join the Patreon and you can get access to all that really cool stuff. So every month we do 4 exclusive podcasts that are available only for our club members. And we're doing some like retro sci-fi shows. We did Eureka. We're doing Stargate Atlantis. We did Doctor Who. We did Buffy the Vampire Slayer. So we're jumping all over the place, all different genres of sci-fi, and we're having a blast doing it. So if you want access to those shows, head over to saltynerdclub.com. Join the club membership. It's only $5, and you get access to a ton of content, plus Discord access for our special members area, where you guys can give us ideas on what we want to talk about next. We have a blast talking with our club members in Discord. We're always in there talking it up. They're giving us show ideas and all kinds of fun stuff.
And also, so it's the price of a cup of coffee for a month's worth of content, but we also give blooper reels over there. We also do some special episodes sometimes where it's just us kind of riffing on certain topics that only our members get access to. And we got so much stuff back there. A lot of people complain that we're giving them too much content. So
get ready for even more.
Yeah, I know, right? So for like $5 a month, you do get a lot.
Yep.
Yeah. And if you have $5, but you don't want all of that extra content, just email us. We'll still take your money.
Super chat.
So our goal right now is to hit the milestone of 100 club members. We're at almost 50, so we're almost halfway there. So if you guys can join up, get us to that mile marker, 100 Patreon members, that would be incredible. We would love to have all those extra people in there chatting it up with us. But anyway, so Stargate episodes 1 and 2. Kadish, this is your month. You chose the show for us to talk about. Can you explain a little bit why we wanted to start with the pilot?
Yeah, so basically, this is probably my favorite Stargate show. I was a big fan of SG1 for like a long time when that was the only game in town. And then when they did the spinoff, I remember when it premiered, and my first introduction to a lot of these characters and the situation and stuff like that was through this pilot episode, which is called Rising. And it does, you have to have watched like SG1 to really get the full context of what's happening in this series. But you don't need to. They kind of use this episode to set up basically okay, here's what Atlantis is, here's what the situation is. And then once they're in Atlantis, they kind of start veering off and doing their own thing. But this this episode basically sets up the bad guys and the good guys and the new scenario, the new galaxy, and all this other stuff. So it's just like a really solid kind of foundation upon which to build. And for this month, I actually chose kind of like my favorite story arc from season 1, which is the Janai story arc. And I wanted to start off by just kind of like having you guys, like, you know, if it's been a while, because I know Jude hadn't watched this series before, just to kind of get a sense of like what the series is about. And then we're going to hop into like my little like favorite story arc there. Right on. And yeah, so.
Vader, are you a long-term fan of the Atlantis?
Yes, I watched this entire series when it was new.
Right on.
Yeah, so I'm very familiar with the storylines and the characters and everybody in it. Yeah,
I'm not super familiar with it. I have seen them. My wife is the bigger fan of Atlantis. When I told her we were doing this, she's like, "Oh no. You need to start with SG1." And she's like, she went back and she found the first episode where McKay showed up, and he was just like a side character, came in and started talking shit to, what's that chick name? Sam.
Yeah, Sam.
Yeah, she started, McKay started talking shit to Sam and like getting headbutting and all that kind of stuff. And she's like, this is McKay. This is the introduction to this character.
And it's funny because like they're like the McKay, Sam Carter relationship kind of like, you know, I wouldn't say evolves, but like it's part of the fun of like the Stargate franchise and just seeing these two characters and how like their relationship develops.
I love how abrasive McKay is like all the time.
Yeah.
He's just no chill whatsoever.
He's kind of a dick.
He's kind of a dick, but it's hilarious.
and when we were interviewing David Hewlett, he was talking about how like, you know, like he came on for like this throwaway part and they liked him so much, they just kept bringing him back. And he's like, okay, I guess I'm coming back.
That's kind of how it happens a lot of times.
Yeah, if you show up for like a one-time thing and you make an impression upon them and they're like, oh, this is a good guy to have.
I guess if you don't die, you can always come back.
He's literally the wrench that they throw into the situation to muck things up.
Yeah, so like he started off as like kind of an antagonist in SG1, and by the time they brought him on board Stargate Atlantis, a lot of the Stargate fans were like, Rodney McKay, like we hate that guy. Why are you giving him like a huge role in this thing? But he like McKay quickly became like my favorite character on Atlantis. Like between him and Shepard, like I just really enjoyed the dynamic on the show.
Yeah, for sure. And Shepard is he's like the man's man of this show, which I love. That when he's flying in with Anderson, with O'Neill, and in the helicopter, and they're like chatting it up back and forth. I can't help but think about the part of the interview that we had with him where he was talking about like, I asked him, you know, what kind of advice did he give you? He's like, don't say the techno mumbo jumbo. The gobbledygook. Like, don't ever say that shit, because if you do and you're good at it, they'll just keep throwing it at you.
That's what they got McKay for.
Yeah, and I now knowing that, I watch Shepard, and every time somebody's saying gobbledygook, he's like, in English, please, just say it simply. It's just funny. It's good stuff.
I mean, it's kind of interesting, especially with these long running series where the writers, once they get used to the actors, they start tailoring the characters for the actors, you know, like, because at first it's just kind of like they have this character in mind, the actor's got to portray the character. But as time goes on, they kind of like figure out, okay, this is how the actor really is. And so we're just going to tailor the character to them to make it easier.
You probably get a better performance out of the actors if they're a little more comfortable with the character, you know?
Yeah.
So
yeah, for sure.
They make it a little bit of their own.
Well, it's funny because as we've gotten to know David Hewlett, like, you know, he talks about how like, you know, he has a really hard time memorizing lines and stuff like that. And so like whenever they gave him like all these like big gobbledygook monologues, like he'd have to sit there and like memorize them and stuff like that. But he's just so good at delivering them.
I've got an index card with 3 lines on it and I can't remember what to say. I can't even imagine having a script that's like pages long where you go on these like crazy sci-fi tangents. Like, I need you to explain exactly how this wormhole works. No. Anyway, so Jude, how did you enjoy your introduction? She is in space right now, guys.
I was looking at Vader's hat, trying to figure out if he has any Stargate pins on it. And you totally got me off guard. I was mesmerized in the hat.
I don't.
I was fully in the pins.
I don't have any pins, but I should get some.
She fell into the black hole of pins. Just...
Vader's 37 pieces of flare.
I know. My eyes just started going like this.
It's like
circles.
the hypno frog from Futurama.
Yes, I got hypnotized. Sorry, what was your question?
I was gonna say real quick. I've noticed a few people out there in YouTube world are
starting to wear pins.
Starting to wear pins on their hats.
You're a trendsetter.
You're the OG, bud. The OG.
So it's like
I'm gonna get suspenders and I'm gonna put flare on them. That's it. That's just what I'm gonna do. Anyway, Jude. So my question was: this is like your
Fully
first,
present.
yeah, your first dive into the Stargate Atlantis thing, right?
I watched sporadically the first season, I think, of Stargate Atlantis. When we were about to interview David Hewlett, I wanted to get familiar with this because I'd never seen this before. I know him from C is what I know him from.
Right.
So I did watch this, but it's been so long since I watched it that I was glad to revisit it again because I had forgotten about the space vampires.
Yes, space vampires. That's right. You were just like a super vampire fan.
Yeah.
So that I just connected the dots there.
Anytime you take something arbitrary and you put it in space, I get very excited. Like, you remember the space whales in Star Trek that I lost my mind over? Amazing. And now we have space vampires. I'm very excited.
And the funny thing about this is that, so for the longest time, we had the Goa'uld, who were like the main bad guys in Stargate. And they were, based in Egyptian mythology and stuff like that. And so all the bad guys were always very like Egyptian looking. And this time around, like they were like, we're going to go space vampires. And when they initially introduced the Wraith, I can remember like, wow, these are like the coolest bad guys ever.
So like I can watch the Stargate SG1 show with my kids. It's not like super kid friendly, but it's not scary.
Right.
You can watch it. Oh yeah, they go on space adventures, and every once in a while a ship flies over, and the goofy dudes with the snake heads will pop up every once in a while. This show I can't watch with my kids.
Really?
Oh, dude, the Wraith are so creepy.
That's scary for you?
Yeah.
Very hard to kill.
And they're very hard to kill. You cut their hands off and they start moving, and then like they suck the life out of the T-1000. It's terrifying.
That's one of the things that I really loved about this premiere episode is that they really set up the Wraith to be super scary, like not just like visually scary, but like the fact that the ancients couldn't defeat them, and in fact the ancients kind of got their butts kicked by these guys. Like that's a tall order to fight against. So like the writers of this show really knew what they were doing when they set up the Wraith as like the primary antagonist in this new galaxy.
It's an excellent big bad.
Yeah.
And then when they're done, they just kind of hibernate for thousands of years.
They're vampires, man.
Mountains grow over their ships and stuff.
Yeah, they actually
Pretty cool.
hibernate, waiting for the human population to like increase again, so that they can come back out and like feed on.
That's awesome. So dark.
Yeah.
There's a scene in one of these episodes where they go into like cave diving and they find like the ancient hieroglyphs, and I'm looking at and
Maybe with the felt tip marker.
yeah with the marker on it.
It's like it was drawn yesterday.
Everybody speaks English. It's
Completely
brilliant.
different galaxy. Everyone speaks English. Every planet looks like Canada.
Yeah, every planet looks like the backyard in Canada somewhere.
Kadish and I were watching this together, and even today, he's like, I wish they would explain why everyone speaks. And I was like, let it go.
I mean that's always been a thing with Stargate, though, except in the movies, where like basically no matter what planet they travel to, people are just speaking English.
Yeah.
And at a certain point, you're just like, okay, whatever.
They had to go to Stargate, or not the Stargate, the Star Trek route, and just have like a universal translator.
Yes.
I'm just glad that there's no time travel involved.
Oh.
Because they would have had to put the time travel rules up at the beginning of the show, so we wouldn't be able to have to argue
the
about
Stargate writers were smart enough where like they probably would have done that. Yeah.
We're not. Yeah, God, I can't even. I'm not watching Picard. Is it just bonkers?
We don't need to go there right now.
Yeah, let's not cross the screens. I want to be talking about
Saturday
Picard
mornings,
with
10
this.
a.m., guys.
All right, everybody.
Pacific.
Yeah, Pacific time. Saturday mornings is Star Trek.
Yes.
So can I just get like a sense of like where are you guys at after watching the first episode with Stargate Atlantis?
I'm going in as if it's a first watch. I have seen it before, but it's been so long, and I don't think I was paying super close attention the first time I watched it. So I'm going in this time like laser focused. I want to pay attention. I watched it with my wife the other day, or last night when we were doing the Discord watch party, saltynerdiscord.com, Monday nights watch parties for our shows, and I was sitting there, and she was like nudging me. She's like, "You need to pay attention to this."
I
like,
love her.
Oh, okay. And she's like, "Do you know what a ZPM is?" And I'm like, "No, what is it?" She's like, "It's a 0-point module, you noob."
It's a Canadian 0-point module because us Americans call it ZPM.
Yeah, and I'm like, what is that for? She's like, "It powers the." God damn it!
Yeah, 0-point modules are kind of like these like super batteries that
Yeah.
allow you to basically run the Stargates and stuff.
They're basically they make everything go things.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Make everything
It's
go.
like if we need to like have a narrative construct or whatever, you know, just slip in there somewhere.
Get the
It's
pack of 9 volts.
yeah, in a ZPM.
Yeah, but they also have the Naquadah generators, which are like kind of like baby ZPMs, and like they're not as good. But ZPMs basically are ancient technology that the Stargate crew hasn't been able to replicate, and so like they need to find them in order to use them. So they're kind of rare.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I'm
Thank you, Professor.
I'm hijacking the podcast thing as like a date night thing with my wife. So on Mondays, I get the laptop out, I log on to Discord, you're streaming the show, and I'm just sitting there watching it with her, and it was a lot of fun.
cute.
Yeah, we had a good time.
My wife would divorce me if I pulled that shit on her.
Oh, my wife loves it, dude.
Yeah,
She's
my-
She
super.
loves Stargate.
She's a super Stargate nerd, dude. Like SG1, Atlantis, the whole thing.
She's gonna start rolling up on you just like through the house and being like, "Pop quiz,
Yeah.
motherfucker!"
Surprise, motherfucker. Yeah, it's a ton of fun. Honestly, I wouldn't mind if she just showed up one day just to talk about this show, because she's way more knowledgeable about it than I am. So I'm going to be picking her brain and having a conversation with her. But I am enjoying it.
Pretending all her smarts are yours.
Yes, 100%.
That's what marriage is, right?
Yeah, yeah. Kadish. No. All right. What's
You
your?
guys getting married too?
No, I was talking about you two. Kadish just pretends he's as smart as you.
Aw. I see what you did there. I'm gonna let it. I'm gonna
Kadish is
allow
like,
it.
I've got more index cards for you later.
Actually, I wrote this.
Did you?
No.
Okay. Vader, what's your first impressions for this?
My first impression.
I don't know. Whatever your impressions
Dude,
for this first 2 episodes.
I don't know. It's Stargate Atlantis. It's the premiere. It's good. I like
Okay.
it. It was did its job. It
Cool.
introduced the characters. It set the story going, and we got to see some cool stuff.
When was the last time you watched this?
About 3 weeks ago.
Oh, okay. So it's pretty fresh.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. I've always loved this series. I like the characters. I like it after Jason Momoa gets here a little bit better. But but it's like any sci-fi show. It takes a couple years to find its groove. But it's good. It's a really good show, and I've always enjoyed it. It's a fun show.
Cool.
So
Jude, opening thoughts.
I'm really glad I got to revisit these first 2 episodes and kind of get like the lay of the land again. Because like you, the first time I watched it, I wasn't paying enough attention. I totally forgot about the space vampires. I'm super excited for it. Like Vader, I really like when Jason Momoa starts coming in and he gets to be more of a regular on the show. I like that because I like Jason Momoa. But yeah, this is not something that I think will be in my regular like Buffy. I rewatch it every year. This is probably not that, but there's a lot to get through. So I'm excited to like get my feet wet and like watch more even after we're done talking about this, because I'm still watching Doctor Who episodes too.
That's awesome. I know
Yeah.
you pop into the Doctor Who chat every once in a while.
Yeah.
Like, I just watched this episode.
Yeah, and God, you guys are giving me a lot of content to to watch. So it's a lot to get through, but I'm excited for it. I hope to live a long, long life.
There's too much sci-fi to watch.
Seriously.
So, Kadish, we have 3 more episodes to go this month. Is there one in particular that you're super excited to share with us?
Yeah, there are 2 actually. So next week, we're going to be introducing you to the Janai, and that's just kind of like a setup episode. So like, I'm not too excited about that one, but it's important to understand the final 2 episodes of the month, which is called The Storm and the Eye. And basically it's a 2-parter, and it's basically Colonel Shepard as John McClane in a Die Hard situation. And it's I can remember the first episode in week 3 that we're going to be watching, it was kind of like a cliffhanger for like the mid-season. And I remember watching it when it aired, and I was just on the edge of my seat. I was like, oh crap, I can't wait to see what happens next. And I had to wait like months for it to like come back. And it's also got Robert Davi from the Goonies and stuff like that in there, and he plays this basically Hans Gruber, and him and Shepard have like this great like kind of like antagonistic relationship, and just everything about this episode, this 2-part like run, I guess you could say, is probably my favorite part of Stargate Atlantis. Like, there are a lot of great episodes, but this 2-parter was the one that hooked me in the show. And so like, I'm really excited. I feel bad because like, the next 3 episodes don't really have space vampires in them. It's these Janai guys.
Man.
And I also feel bad because like, I picked non-Momoa episodes, you guys are going to have to deal with.
He's not even in this season.
Yeah, he's not in the first season.
Yeah,
Is he?
you guys are going to have to deal with Rainbow Sun Franks for a few episodes.
Oh, that means I've watched more than the first season. Good for me.
Well, when I was introducing Jude to Stargate Atlantis, she was like, "Get to the Momoa episode," and so like I had to go and find
I
like
had
the
no
one.
time.
Fast forward to the
Yeah, I had to find the one where they introduced Ronan and like all this other stuff, and so then she was happy.
Right on. All right, guys. So how this is going to work for our club members, if you sign up, saltynerdclub.com, you get access to 4 exclusive podcasts this month. What we do is we break down the episodes scene by scene. Kadish has a narrative breakdown in front of him. He reads them. We talk about the particular scenes, what we liked, what we didn't like, to have some fun, joke about things, explain exactly why everybody speaks English in the Pegasus Galaxy, and have a good time. So what is it?
We explain how.
Yes, we will explain how everybody speaks English.
No, we don't.
Scientifically, we're going to get to the bottom of it.
Scientifically.
It's just called. We wrote this script in English.
Anyway, so head over to saltynerdclub.com, sign up to become a club member, and you get access to a really great set of podcasts this month. So for our club members who are already signed up, thank you guys so much. And we'll meet you guys in the club members area. Vader, where can people find you on the socials?
You can find me at MattVader74 on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and the things.
Right on. Jude?
You can find me at I am Jude Juju on Instagram and on TikTok.
Right on. Matthew Kadish.
You can find me at Matthew Kadish, Kadish on Twitter. KadishBooks.com takes you to our Amazon page. And if you wouldn't mind heading over to saltynerd.com/rate, RATE. Please leave us a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts because we're trying to get 200 of those suckers in order to get officially accredited as movie reviewers on Rotten Tomatoes.
And before I forget, we have an exclusive shirt available for Stargate fans that is only going to be available for a few months while we're reviewing the show. Head over to saltynerdstore.com and grab yourself a Stargate Atlantis shirt that has a quote from Dr. McKay on it. Kadish, why don't you tell people what it looks like?
Yeah, it's basically the Pegasus badge, the badge for the Pegasus Galaxy that all the SG members wear. And there's a quote from Dr. McKay on there that says, "I react to certain doom in a certain way. It's a bad habit."
Right on. saltynerdstore.com. Grab that shirt. All right, everybody. Thanks for watching. Club members, let's go.